Alright, so we're going to be replacing the clutch on the Cbr 650F. I noticed there wasn't a video for it, so I decided I'll make one. When I first bought the bike, there was no play in the clutch, so the clutch was slipping while I was riding it, and now it just slips whenever I give it full throttle, so we got to check it out and replace it. To get started, we're going to need to lift the bike. I usually like to have somebody help me hold the bike while I lift it, just to make sure I don't knock it over. The tools, you're just going to need a 10mm, a 12mm, a torque wrench. You got the screwdriver to get the cover off. This is to help hit it back on. You may need this for the push pin, and that's about it. After you have it on the stand, you're going to need to drain the oil. It's going to be the plug under here. Alright, so it's going to be that plug. Should be a 12mm socket you need for that. Right, boom. And while you're down here, you might as well change your oil filter, especially if you haven't done an oil change. I didn't get to get it off last time. For the filter, you should be able to get it off by hand, but I wasn't able to last time, so I had to get one of these. You want a 65mm oil filter wrench. This will help you get it off real easy. You may need an extension as well to help you reach up in there. Okay. You're going to throw your plug back on. You know, I take a little bit of the motor oil, you can use some of the dirty, and just put it around there. It'll help lubricate it and create a better seal. You don't want that rubber to crack. Nice and wet. We're gonna put it right back up in where we took it out. Okay, so now we're gonna have to take off the fairing right here so we can get to these bolts back here. It's gonna be a 3/16. Yep, 3/16 Allen key. You need to take out this bolt, this one over here. And then there's a couple of little plastic pieces that are gonna pop out. Alright, so right in here, it's gonna be, some models might have a push pin. This year I have a 2018, it has a screw. So you have two screws under here and a push pin. If you have the 2018 like me. So once you have it off, you can kind of bring this down. I think there might be another bolt in here. I'm not sure. But we can get this out the way enough so I can get to these and get it off. So pop your dipstick out. It's going to be in the way. You need to take this one off first because you need to get rid of this clutch cable. So once you want to do that, that should give you enough play to be able to get this out of there. You just snap that on out of there. Put this out the way. There's another sensor in here. If you look right here, you got to unplug this. Forget. Alright, so on this, there's a little clip right here. You just got to push that in and that'll help you release it. So once again, just bring this over. There's not really any way. 80%. Oh, cool. Alright, so this thing helps hold on your fairing, so that works. So now this is out the way. Alright, now you get all your bolts off. You need to get this thing off. Might be stuck on there a little bit, which it definitely is. You want to be gentle, you don't want to damage it. So you use a hammer. Nice little taps, loosen up the gasket. these little things right here where you can kind of get some leverage on it and try not to damage anything. You want to use it against the frame as much as you can. Just be very gentle if you're going to put it in there at all. You don't want to mess up your seal. Very gentle. Just get a little bit of wedge in there. Pull that just out. There we go. Just figure it out. Just wedge it in there gently. There we go. There we go. That's it. Careful. Oh God, what does this spring go to? Alright, so this little spring right here is for your clutch. That just lets it return. This washer just... Oh no, this goes right here. So this is your clutch. You got these bolts to take out. When you take these out, there's going to be springs on these. I'm going to replace. Should be about a 10 millimeter. Pop these off. You want to make sure you break them all evenly. It's going to move a little on you. Pull this out. So this is your cover. That right there. Oh, looks like the top friction plate and a steel plate came out with it. Just pay attention to that. Alright, so these are the new ones. I got bar neck, clutch, friction plates. I got a whole set for my bike. So you're just gonna pull these out. Nice and easy, one by one. You may need a little tool, so I got this little thing, so I'll help you push them forward. If you look right back here, there's little notches back here you can reach in with to push everything forward. You shouldn't really have to worry about this, but you should inspect in here these little notches and make sure everything's good in there. If these are worn at all, it's your clutch isn't going to catch correctly. You need to replace that. Usually it's the top one that's different from most of the other videos I've seen, but this one, I guess the back one is the skinnier one. Alright, so you're going to take these, you're going to slide them in right between these little teeth right here. Push them way to the back. These ones right here, these teeth are for the front. Alright, these teeth right here. You'll figure it out. Worst tutorial. Alright, so for the steel plates, you're going to want them all facing the same direction. If you look at them, one side is rounded while the other side is flat. Most people say it doesn't really matter which way you put them, but what you want is them all facing the same direction, or else they're going to catch on each other from the flat ends. And I saw in some other video they saw something else. They said that it's better if you put the soft side in, it helps it slide in easier. So you're going to put these in, and these will slide, should slide right on those little teeth right there. finally, last one, instead of on these notches, you want this one to be on this notch. Alright, so after you have your clutch back together, you're going to throw this bad boy back on. Like that. You're going to need to push on the spring a little bit to compress it so you can get the threads in. You want to tighten down nice and evenly. Very evenly. So I'm going to just do like 2 turns for each bolt and a star pattern. This is more important than when you're taking it off. I mean, when you're taking it off, you want to make sure it's even so that you're not bending this plate, but when you're putting it in, same thing, so all the plates are set evenly. Good. Alright, so once you have all these in and you do them very evenly, you're going to take the torque wrench, you're going to torque it to about 8 foot-pounds. Alright, so we got some replacement bolts. Now after that, you're going to want to clean up the whole gasket from before. Just scrape it all off with a nice plastic scraper. Alright, so once you get that about as clean as you can, use this stuff right here, and you want to get an even bead around to make it even seal. The cleaner you get it, the better it'll seal it. Alright, once you get the even bead around, you just throw it back on. Make sure you get your clutch on and stuff, and then torque everything to about 8 foot-pounds again. And then after, you can clean up everything. If you get the right stuff, you can immediately fill it up, like give it like 5-10 minutes, and then anything else you're going to need to give it a few hours or 24 hours before you fill it and use it.